Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. This is 23rd of July 2018, and I wanted to do this video as I was thinking of doing it as a YouTube one rather than put it on Anchor, because I wanted to do a drawing, but I don't have great drawing skills, and I'm going to do it. I haven't had time to do it. So I thought I'd just do it in audio version. You can imagine what I'm trying to say, because it's the idea of how we can see the Earth as a globe or flat or whatever it is. And my problem is, obviously, when you see the NASA pictures, it shows a globe. And I was looking at it and I was noticing, well, everything seems curved, because obviously it's a globe, so a curve is everywhere. So like even the UK, it looks curved, it's on a curve, the sea around it looks curved. But then I was thinking, well, wait a minute, but the problem is when I look out with my eyes, it looks flat. You know, I don't see the curve. Obviously the roads aren't level, but when I look at the ocean, the sea, I can see that it looks flat for a long way, very level. And we know that water is used to measure things in a level meter, you know. So the thing I was thinking is, so that means that, okay, if we say that the NASA picture is a true representation of the place that we're on, then that means that it is all curved and we can't see the curve. It just looks straight to us because it's so big, you know, that we can't see it. But then the problem is well, wait a minute, what about those people that use the argument that, oh yeah, the curve drops off, you know, when they say that the ship, you see it go over the curve. And then I was thinking, wait a minute, maybe that's a fallacy then, isn't it? Or a misinterpretation, because if you can say that you can see where a curve is because that ship goes over, why is the curve there? Why isn't the curve like 100 meters before or 1,000 meters before? Why isn't the curve where I'm standing? Why is it always away from me? Is it because of our eyes? I don't know, but the problem is we know that that curve doesn't exist, because you can have a camera and you can put it on a tripod and you can zoom back in and out, and your eyes show the ship going over a curve, but the camera doesn't, and it's not refraction because it doesn't look the same way as it should do. So that's just, people got that wrong, but people still hold to that. But the fact is that maybe that's a distraction to make you think that you could see a curve, that there is a curve out there somewhere, you know. So then I was thinking, I was looking at this picture of the Earth, that someone did like a graphic, I should say, of the Earth without water. You can find it on YouTube if you just search for, or I think it was on Google actually, if you just search for Earth without water, what the Earth would look like without water. Because I wanted to see, what I was thinking about is, well, wait a minute, what about the dips in the, you know, if we say the continents are the container, you know, that keeps the water in, because we know that water has to have a container to stop it from flowing from either side. That's assuming that it's not using the gravity to, you know, to stick it on the ball as they do. But if we just say that we know that water has to have a container to keep it in, so we say the continents are acting as the container, so therefore we know the shape, you know, underneath. I mean, I don't know how far people have actually filmed down there, or how true what I saw of the globe, but we know that it's not level, it's not flat. It will be, you know, shaped, you know, same like the kitchen bowl that I've talked about before. So, but it will be a lot more, you know, ups and downs and dips and things. So then I was thinking, wait a minute, the water's level, but, you know, what if there's a big, you know, like within my eyesight, you know, whatever distance that is, what if there's a big dip under the water, so that water fills up but it doesn't bend, it keeps flat? But you're saying that it will bend, it does bend somewhere. Well, in fact, it's bending everywhere, because according to NASA's picture, it shows the sea completely bending. And I was thinking, well, maybe you could find what is the smallest amount of sea between two bits of land, and you could look at that, and if you could maybe see from both sides of the land, you can see it level, but from space it doesn't look level, it looks bent. Well, that's a problem then, isn't it? But that's what I was thinking, how is it possible that we know water's level, we can pour it out and we can see that if it's not level, it slides from one side to the other. If there's a big dip, it fills up, you know, that's what I was saying. So why is it that, you know, let's just imagine from the sea, there's a big dip under the ground, you know, to the core or whatever, but there's no bend there. But then maybe further down, that's when it starts to slope off around the globe. So why does it only bend there and it doesn't bend other places? But that's the problem, because when we look at the picture of the Earth, it looks bent everywhere, but we can't see it. So is it because our eyes can't see it, or is it because it's not true, a not true reflection of the actual reality that we're within? It's difficult when you start thinking about it like that. But the fact is, we know that the properties of water, they don't bend. So how is it bending? Well, people say it's gravity that's making it bend, making it stick. But then how come we can't see it? Unless you use a fisheye lens, and then suddenly you see a bend, but that's because the fisheye lens is creating a bend. Even if you fly up high enough, I've seen pictures through balloons, ones that don't have fisheye lens, and it looks flat. So how come then, even when you go high up, we're still not seeing that curve? But when we're out in space, apparently there is a curve everywhere. But my main crux of the problem is if you look at how the Earth is without water, if there's a big dip right next to you, it doesn't bend. But why does it bend further down to go around the Earth? And it's like it's almost making out that water is tiny droplets all together, isn't it, that makes up that body of water. They're almost saying water is like some kind of sticky substance or a piece of string that, if it's long enough, then it starts to bend. But it doesn't work like that. It's individual bits that make up that. So I don't know, it just doesn't... When you think about all these things, it's just another proof of that something doesn't make sense here with the correlation between what we can see, what we can witness, and what's presented to us, i.e. with our own eyes, with how elements like water work, and with the picture from NASA. Anyway, I thought I'd finally get this out, because I was meaning to do it on last week, and I was going to draw a picture, but it doesn't really matter. You can Google all these things and find them all out, and hopefully I've explained it enough to make you understand what I was thinking. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless, peace.